Hey everyone, so over on my Instagram page I got a few requests to talk about my original characters, or OCs, and while lots of their stories are kind of twisted and convoluted, I thought I would attempt to explain some today. The first character I'm going to be talking about is my character Kouri, and Kouri is kind of the central character to my whole cast of original characters. The story takes place in sort of a fantasy world in the middle of the Indian Ocean on a forgotten continent. On this continent, there are races that are similar to humans, but not humans. Sometimes called near humans, these races often have abilities and genetic differences that humans would not have. One such of these races, Kouri's people, are called the Sanado, and they live in the southernmost part of the continent of Harruar. Sanado are much taller than your average human, have long hands and feet, and are able to climb trees with ease. Kouri was born in the capital city of Kangarta, which is Sang. Kangarta's entire population is made of Sanado. Kouri came into being when I was about 12 years old and playing with the idea of writing my own story and creating my own artwork and just world building in general. There was a time where I kind of abandoned the idea of it ever becoming something because it was all so just messed up and things didn't line up and cultures didn't make any sense, and neither did races. But as of this year, I've been constantly getting back into it more in hopes to better it and make it something that the public would enjoy. I officially began to write it publicly on WATTPAD on October the 15th of 2018 and didn't really work on it very hard until probably April sometime. Found an app or a website that helped me organize my thoughts and my plots and my characters and all their races so that I was able to see everything in front of me while I was working on it, which is something that I really need as an author and an illustrator. Since then, the ball started rolling and it hasn't really stopped, and I've been so happy for that because now I feel like I'm actually working on something that I really enjoy and really want the world to understand and see. Kouri has developed a lot over the years. When he first started, he was sort of just a puny emo boy with some funky hair and a weird scar, and he didn't have much of a personality. He was just kind of your depressed anti-hero. But as I spent years working on him, he sort of became what I saw embodied as a true hero. Someone whose problems are not solved and probably won't be solved for a very long time, but really works hard to try to fix the things that he's done or that other people have done and save lives in the process. Making him human has been my favorite thing about the entire process, just making him have a lot of those human emotions even though he's not genetically human. And in this next section you're about to see, I'm going to start laying out his personality. Kouri is directed, dignified, and unflappable. Kouri can master over his feelings remarkably when needed and channel them where they are most useful. He is gentle and kind when dealing with allies and sometimes even enemies in an attempt to see the good in everyone. Avoid being the target of his rage, however, because you will not bounce back. Kouri is motivated by the freedom to act quickly, to carry out decisions without constraint. He wishes to avenge the fallen and bring justice back to a politically biased world once and for all. However, on the downside, Kouri is combative, repressed, and overly nonverbal. When faced with a decision he does not like, Kouri will do anything to fight it, anything at all. He refuses to indulge in the things that he enjoys until the goal at hand is accomplished and therefore is repressed. He is nonverbal because he believes his feelings and emotions are private and for him only, but this results in friends and family becoming frustrated with his hidden feelings. Kouri is a Leo, is 6 feet and 4 inches tall, is a Sanado, and identifies with the CRYPT Alliance. He's the last known of his kind because when he was young, all of his people were massacred by countries who were threatened by their strength. For reference, here's what he looks like in color. The last character in this video is Tyrra. I based Tyrra off of my sister roughly as far as her looks go. She was created so that Kouri would have a travel partner and a best friend. Tyrra helps with comic relief to help alleviate the stress of the story. Though she looks very human, her genetic history is not completely human, and therefore she is a near human. Near human is a term used to refer to all kinds of people who have mixed or muddled genetic history, meaning human or great race. Tyrra's people come from the mid-Harruarian plains, where many of the races are mixed together. She was born in Harruar, the capital city. At a young age, Tyrra began combat classes so that she could learn to be a bodyguard or assassin depending on the job she was hired for. When she met Kouri, she dropped all of her education and helped him escape from the bounty that was placed on his head when it was discovered that he escaped the massacre of his people. Tyrra adopted Kouri as her life purpose, intending to serve him and keep him safe from harm as long as she lived. Kouri can be kind of serious and forget to be lighthearted on times, and Tyrra helps to relieve the pressure that he feels as the last of his kind. She does her best to keep him motivated and keep his scars and markings hidden so that no one can identify him while on their travels. Because she is very distantly near human, she has no overly recognizable features, which helps her to blend into crowds and only have to disguise Kouri. Because Kouri didn't get a full education when his people were killed, Tyrra does her best to help educate him on the people and places of Harruar. She believes in practicality, and if a piece of information has no use for the future, she does not believe in learning it. Tyrra's personality is much different from Kouri's. She's very attentive, perceptive, and thoughtful. She's a very devoted individual, drawing her strengths from Kouri, who she set her sights and personal goals on when she was very little. She is careful to think through the decisions she makes when she is with him, so that they only affect him in positive or character-growing ways. She is very one-track minded and is selfless in her intentions. Tyrra is able to see tendencies in others and observe personality facades, seeing traps in action long before they spring. Tyrra is motivated by her will to protect Kouri and widen her own information base of people, their tendencies, their personalities, and their faults. She is a protector in its truest form, a vicious watchdog willing to die to protect her goals. However, of course, she has her faults. She can be disturbing, irritating, and fussy. Tyrra, while being able to discern tendencies and personalities of others, is not always aware of what will hurt their feelings or offend them, and often will spit disturbing and irritating things unapologetically and without care. She is fussy with her possessions and goals, and if something of hers is damaged, she will often go into a fit. She cannot seem to stop messing with whatever she owns, always wanting to upgrade or better it. Tyrra dislikes fake people. Anyone attempting to fool her can count her an enemy, as she will spit fire at them as soon as they open their mouth. Tyrra is a Sagittarius. She is 5 feet tall and 2 inches. She is a near human and of the CRYPT Alliance. One thing I forgot to mention was the definition of the CRYPT Alliance. It is a crypt just under the surface of CRYPT. The CRYPT Alliance is a rebel force calling these underground tunnels and passageways home. They fight against Vollenvarg, the Vollenvarg Alliance, who massacred Kouri's race and many others. That's enough information for one video, I think. I have written 9 chapters so far on WATTPAD, and I will link it in the description below if you have any interest in reading about these characters. And other characters, of course. Thank you all so much for watching this video, and I'll see you all next time.